Let's get on to the next one, fam, because we got a long show going on, but we have to cover this stuff because you know this issue right here, this is something that's personal to Fam and I. It's one of our big issues about why there's this migration problem. Fam has been living down at the border. She's been down there several times, noticing that most of the people are coming from Honduras. We have been talking about 2009, how so slowly and casually we slipped a little regime change, a coup d'etat in there. And fam,
it's happening again.
Nobody's learned their lesson.
Before your very eyes.
Nobody's talking about it, fam.
Yesterday, Trump recognized Guaidó as Venezuela's leader, rebuking Maduro. So Guaidó is the challenger who all of a sudden came up during
didn't even run for the
mass
presidency.
protest. Yeah. No. And said, I'm going to declare myself the president of Venezuela. Maduro was the democratically elected president. He was the candidate that was elected by his people and is the president. Yeah. Now, Trump went and said, nope, I recognize Guaidó. And also Pence made a really creepy video saying, hola. And it's like
when Pence said hola, it made me really uncomfortable.
I was really uncomfortable, to be honest. So Maduro then decided to go and break deep diplomatic relations with us and everybody else, actually, who is supporting the usurper, Guaidó.
Yeah, and he also published the gas prices in Chinese as far as the dollar, the China dollar, how much they're worth, to totally diss American interests, whatnot. And that's why we're doing this again. Guaidó supports American interest. He's going to get funded by Americans, whatnot. And the funding's been going on for Venezuela for a long time. So every single time you see one of those pundits on TV go, "What about Venezuela and socialism?" Like, we've been funding the opposition way back. You're talking about when Hugo Chavez was there. It's we cause this chaos. We create this chaos. We pay for these protests against these leaderships. We support this. Why? Because we want our dollar. Venezuela has oil, fam, and they want it. The oligarchs want it. And guess what? They also don't want to see. They don't want to see a socialistic government, because didn't he announce a few things today, fam? Maduro
increased the wages of his people by 300%.
Boom!
Just as we had placed more sanctions against them, he did that. And then, of course, right after he does that, look what happens. We don't want, as the United States, we want to ensure failure of a socialist kind of democracy, of socialism in a foreign country. We've done it many times, and we are doing it again this time. So for the people that are constantly complaining about immigration to the United States, why don't these people go back? Well, they can't go back when we go destabilize their countries, install our own corporate candidates with a coup d'etat, and then complain about what happens when these people escape and come to the United States and they have nowhere to go.
Escape is the right word. They're escaping death. They're escaping murder. They're escaping rape. Fam, this reminds me of when Bernie Sanders said, I don't see two sides of the aisle. I only see one aisle, because there are Democrats on that side too. It's like the Trump people who want the wall. Okay, you don't want immigration going on. Where are you at right now? This is big right now, because this is going to cause a mass migration of Venezuelans that are already coming already. Now the floodgates are going to open up. And all those people in the Democrats who say, we don't want a wall is immoral, whatnot. Why don't you talk about the real problem? Why? Because your democratically elected leaders backed all these regime changes.
The people you are backing, while you are telling me that you care about the children at the border.
Yes.
That you want to save Dreamers and DACA, but yet you continue to vote for these neocons, these neoliberals who are starting regime change wars, who are causing civil unrest that is causing everything to happen and fall into a domino effect. Then you are being a hypocrite.
Yes.
Because this is the core of the problem. This is what leads to the kind of immigration issues that we have.
Yeah.
Because we don't leave them alone.
Yeah.
And if you go and talk to Venezuelans, and I've had Venezuelan friends my whole life, and if you go and talk to Venezuelans, and if you actually go and look at people's reporting, people who are actually know what they're talking about, like Abby Martin, you know that these people are supportive of Maduro. The people who are supportive of him are the working class, the poor, the people who want more workers' rights. These are the people of Venezuela that are actually supportive of him. The people who are not supportive of him are the corporatists, the capitalists, the wealthy. So again, what we're seeing in Venezuela is the divide between the rich and the poor. And of course, the rich are going to support America and stand with Americans because they ain't got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
But the poor who are supporting a president that's giving them getting ready to give them health care, that's giving them higher wages, that's doing everything he can for them, that is a man of the people. He used to drive a school bus. I mean, this man was not a wealthy man. And that is what the United States doesn't want to succeed. Not just the United States, but people like in Great Britain.
France, too.
France.
We have an article with Macron up
Canada.
there, I believe, right? Once again, and my girl, Sarah Abdullah, all right, she talked about this with Macron. Look at this one over here, fam. This one right over here. Let me get it up. Let me see. It was on my phone. I don't think I have it here. I can't see it. I can't read it. Can you read it first, Johnny, or no? Is it? Okay, but when it talks about Macron again, so Macron's out there supporting Guaido again now, all right? It's all united front of globalism and neoliberals. Oh, the unbelievable hypocrisy. Macron, whose approval rating is in France has sunk to 21%, hails the courage of the Venezuelan protesters while beating, arresting, tear gassing, and brutally cracking down on thousands of yellow vest protesters home for weeks. I mean, it's just... If
Macron is supporting this, I mean, that just tells you something, right? I mean, the majority of people who are activists and stuff understand that this is not good. Yeah. It's not good for us either, and it's not good for them.
Remember Andrew Schillem though? That's why that was the last thing. Remember when he out there said Maduro is a crook and went kind of chastised him?
And he's over there on Twitter saying it again.
He is.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he is. That's when I was done. Yeah. Done, fam. Sorry, you were going.
Yeah. So let me just talk about how Mexico has not supported Guaido yet, and the Bolivian president Evo Morales,
of course,
declared solidarity with the people of Venezuela and brother Nicolás Maduro in resisting the claws of imperialism. He said the claws of imperialism, meaning us, in South America. That tells you everything. We are the claws of imperialism.
We are, and I love the leader of Bolivia. I mean, he's been doing some great things. He let the Chinese in. He's pretty much pushed the American and Western banks out. The IMF is out of there. I think Maduro is going to try to do the same thing. The only problem is will he be able to do it in time before John Bolton, Donald Trump already said he's open to having military force there. Boots on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. Where you at, Republicans, now? Now you're going to let them destabilize the country. Millions of immigrants got to come in, and now you're going to put our soldiers on the ground, and guess who's paying for it, fam?
And guess who's going to be pissed off when they come into this country and take your jobs?
Yeah, I mean, please. And it is important who funds them, fam, because we've been doing this for a long time. Do you have that one article with Obama? It said pretty plain and simple in that article about who funds the Venezuelan people. I just saw it. It's the picture we took. You just had it. The Vice one right here. Right here. Does it matter that the Venezuelan opposition is funded by the U.S.? Fam.
I mean, we're so busy talking about Russia. And by the way, Russia is supporting Maduro. We're so busy talking about Russia.
Yeah.
And we are meddling in other people's elections.
We're meddling in their elections.
Why? I don't what is your it's just the hypocrisy is unnerving, and anybody trying to defend Guaido and our stance on it and how we are doing this doesn't understand Latin American foreign policy. And again, this is something that many people, it just kind of flies by you because we're so busy focused on domestic policy that the foreign policy is just. But there is one presidential candidate who does actually understand and actually spoke against
Watch
this.
what our girl says. She says it. It's awesome. I had the clip up there that said that Obama earmarked money, by the way, $5 million 1 year. He earmarked money to the opposition. Now, Tulsi Gabbard said the other day, to this morning, I think she said. Yeah. Why don't you read what she said? Because I don't think we have you have it right here. Go ahead.
She said the United States needs to stay out of Venezuela. Let the Venezuelan people determine their future. We don't want other countries to choose our leaders, so we have to stop trying to choose theirs.
Thank you,
The only person right now that I've seen so far.
Why can't people just read that? Why can't they understand that? And we have people out there who are saying, well, those other people need help. No, they don't. We cause the chaos. We never get this right. And we just got to stay out of other people's business. We're sitting here saying people are meddling in our election, that it's not Putin, it's Rasputin, that we're getting convinced and controlled. Meanwhile, we're already talking about putting boots on the ground with troops to uphold to overthrow a democratically elected leader, just like we did in 2009 with Manuel Zelaya in Honduras.
This is the equivalent of Democrat, let's say Nancy Pelosi or any other Democrat going, hey, I'm president now. Trump's run isn't legitimate. I'm president now. That's literally what's happening in Venezuela, and we're literally supporting it. Just so you know, it's a huge deal, and we need to be completely up in arms about it. Hands off Venezuela. No more war. No more regime change wars. None of that. And the military in Venezuela says they will not accept a president imposed by dark interests. Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino said this after Washington and the allies said that they were going to recognize Guaido as president.
How long is that going to hold on, though, for fam? You know, somebody within the military is going to be bought by the United States. It's already happening. It's going to split. There's going to be civil war, you know, and a lot of poor people are going to die because Guaido is going to try to overturn all these people protesting in the street. And most of the people in the street protesting are for Nicolás Maduro, and therefore stay continued over here. I know I'm kind of fucking stumbling over my words because this is like, once again, a regime is taking place, a regime change right in front of us. And this is the main argument for the government shutdown, is because all this migration is coming in here. Nobody's talking about the real problem. It's happening today. Yesterday, January 23rd, should be known as Coup d'etat Day for America because we're doing it again, fam.
And let's go ahead and watch the video where we have kind of a summary of everything that's happened.
¡Que viva Maduro! ¡Que viva la revolución bolivariana! ¿Por quién votó este pueblo que está aquí? ¿Por quién votó este pueblo que está aquí? ¿Quién es nuestro presidente? ¿Quién es nuestro presidente?
He decidido romper relaciones diplomáticas y políticas con el gobierno imperialista de los Estados Unidos. ¡Fuera! ¡Se van de Venezuela! ¡Basta de intervencionismo! ¿Quién eligió al presidente de la República? ¿Podemos los venezolanos calarnos que desde Washington se pretenda imponer un presidente en Venezuela? Es una gravísima irresponsabilidad, es una gravísima insensatez de la política extremista del gobierno de Donald Trump.
La Asamblea Nacional violenta los artículos 130, 131 y 132 constitucionales. President Donald Trump.
Llamando diariamente a un golpe de Estado en Venezuela.
Pastas and shit.
Hi,
And we're back. I love it. Well, that kind of broke it down, fam. What do you got?
Yeah, no, that just basically sums up everything that we're saying. The people in Venezuela are very unhappy with our interventionism, with the way we interfere and our actions. And the majority of Americans are completely clueless. And you know what? It's actually going to be very, very few people you see standing up and saying, hey, we should not get involved with Venezuela. In fact, it might be better for many presidential candidates from their point of view to support, you know, Guaido, to support what Trump is saying and paint Maduro as this failure of a president, as terrible president, as a terrible leader. So what you're going to see is a lot of people staying silent about it just because of how it's perceived as anti-American, anti-establishment, anti-war. And that's not something that many people are ready to do. And I commend Tulsi Gabbard for doing that. It is very tough to do that, where the majority of people are actually saying the opposite.
Yeah.
She's standing her ground. And that is why I like her for a VP position or a Secretary of State position.
I love that.
And I think she's a strong candidate because she understands foreign relations, something that the majority of her opponents, if not all of them, lack understanding of.
I think it's the time we can say that the Democratic Party isn't anti-regime change, that they aren't anti-war. There's a libertarian base out there that doesn't want to go to war because they don't want to intervene. And I think that Tulsi has the ability to grab a lot of those people over there because of stances like this. And despite what she said in the past about torture and all those other things, the conversion therapy, she has apologized for those things. She has spoke a certain way. And it's decisions like this, I think, fam, that make her stand out alone. And I applaud her for coming out and saying no mas. That's it,
guys.
fam.
We're going to wrap this up. We did go over a while, and we're going to try to, for the YouTube, to chop up these videos into segments so you can more easily find them.
And we want to thank you for coming in and tuning in. If you got time, please like, share, subscribe to our YouTube, our Facebook. We'll see you soon. Convo out.
Bye.